I actually have a class I have to teach here in less than half an hour. Well, in about a half hour, 40 minutes. So, gotta definitely have some discipline here today. Quick 10-minute summary and send you good people on your way. As I like to do on a regular basis for you guys over on YouTube, we just have a quick little chart deck here to show you. Our conversations recently about U.S. dollar index, we just had ECB do their thing yesterday. We talked lots about all the FU moves around that event. I thought it was interesting this morning seeing the U.S. dollar rally. I don't know whether you guys have ever heard me talk about this before, but I love candle body levels for trade location and looking at the U.S. dollar index. I get the funny feeling that they set up a bit of a short trade here. If we take yesterday's sell-off low, RLZ back up against the highs, you notice there's 78.6, there's candle body highs. Look at that beautiful little tag there, and then fell right out of bed. And also too, sort of talked about this in the daily brief this morning with the TRI crew. But if we look at the euro, I got the funny feeling, sort of exact opposite. We talked yesterday about FU moves all around ECB events. And interestingly enough, if US dollar is sort of topping out, we can kind of see, we had said move stop to trailing levels were hit. And if we had taken that level out, then walk away. And I think that's basically what happened there. So short ideas for the euro, I think, are off the table for the time being. The euro's done its thing. Wicks and tails like to be eaten, and also too we can make the argument this is a megaphone. That was a lower low, so I wouldn't be surprised through the FOMC there's going to be lots and lots of play all around here. What kind of surprised me here today was the economic data coming out of the States is actually pretty robust. And I was talking about this with the TRI peeps in the show. We had retail sales came out fairly healthy. Consumers still spending money. That's basically like a 4% annual rate. And things like University of Michigan consumer sentiment preliminary numbers for September, they're still coming in above 90, so that's relatively positive. We talked yesterday about inflation rates are actually running a little hotter than expected. And this is core inflation, which is what the Fed really likes to concentrate on. So you put it all together, I find it very, very difficult that the Fed can actually aggressively cut interest rates anymore. And through the daily brief, we kind of talked about this morning that, yes, the corporate interest rate market went into freak out mode there through August, expecting interest rates to collapse. But you can see how quickly they can change their tune. And we actually have corporate interest rates now on the short end higher than the anticipated Fed funds. And frankly speaking, between now and Fed funds date, when next week when they meet, we might actually see all of this come back in line, and the Fed doesn't have any reason to cut rates anymore. So just be cognizant of that. On that sort of thought, we do have one site gentleman who is a big fan of sort of cycle analysis, and he subscribes to a newsletter where his cycle people are calling for basically a market top through this mid to end of September period. I think I've told you recently I put myself on a put buying plan. I don't have any outright signals here. But I thought it was really interesting. I was chatting with site people this morning about a potential harmonic setup, 3 drives, 1, 2, 3. So I really do like the idea of buying puts. So I went and bought, per my plan, I went and bought another put here today. Just sort of slowly taking the month of September to build that put option play. And, if the stock market wants to remain strong and upbeat through the into this window, that's fine, because we've got some stocks that are just absolutely flying here. And we're taking advantage of the bull as it's playing out. And keep in mind, I'm buying, these are March 2020 put options that I'm buying, so quite far out. So stock market wise, up against top end of the range, Brian, likes to sell against top end of ranges, buy against bottom end of ranges, and my whole cycle thesis. I think it makes sense why I want to be thinking short up top here. Looking at the precious metals markets, again, that's sort of like this risk on, risk off kind of conversation that I have quite often with the public. And where's the best one to show you? I think it's here. Nope. These are all the risk off proxies. You can see the bonds are just coming screaming down here, and they just keep making new lows. So, clearly the risk off trade was quite risky, as I had sort of pointed out a week or two ago. Yen has come screaming down. And, of course, gold is also basically flirting with the other day's lows. I really wanted to rally up into this reload zone to try and go and hunt put options. But this son of a gun, just like the bonds, this son of a gun might just crap right out here. But if I can get some sort of sign of a bottom and a rally back up into reload zones, fill in gaps and stuff, I still do like the idea of shopping for puts. But right now, there's nothing I can do. I'm frozen right now. And we were kind of musing in the daily brief today about whether this is like a head and shoulders pattern that might be forming. And it could very easily play out very, very quickly here on the gold. So just be cognizant of that. I mean, you can see where 38.2s are. This head and shoulders would project down to fill in these gaps and that kind of stuff. And there are cheeky gaps way, way, way down below that could use some attention. But like I said, to set up a trade for me, I really wanted to see some sort of counter trend rally back up top here. It's very proud, Julian running the baby powder report. He had said that he got some really good RSI structural failures on this counter trend rally, and he shorted up top. And we were all just trying to get him to try and stay in that short as long as possible because it looks like it's working. Moving on. We just had an absolute treat here this morning. As I have told you repeatedly, we had a nice little bullish bot set up working on the David's T. We talked about edibles and how there's a fundamental driver on this stock heading into like early October. Could she be stalling out here? We're well above the bot level now. We had this big fat round number. Really good lesson about big fat round numbers. $2 hit. You can see we actually came into this wick that was a gap previously. So my hunch is we're probably going to run out of steam up top here. And anybody that did bought this, you got nothing to complain about. Take your profits and run. Here's a bot that's just working away. And Kevin was the one who pointed this out. And just broke its previous high. So we're kicking ass on this trade. I don't know whether I have the bot levels on here. I might. Yeah, there they are. So you can see the trades just marching along. Nice little bot entry, move stop to scratch, move stop to trailing is now hit. So on structural failures here, maybe hop off, take profits. But I've got because I bought the weekly W here way back when, I've got my sell half on a double order working. I don't see any reason why this thing can't go up and tag the 50% level of the entire range and the bot price objective. Seems perfectly logical to me. So stocks are treating us pretty well here of late. Got nothing to complain about there. And then, just to finish off our offering today, I do know that a lot of people that watch this channel are very crypto related. I've been very skeptical about, these quote-unquote breakouts, big bullish moves, all that kind of stuff. But we did talk yesterday about a potential fractal that could actually show the signs of the market moving higher. So we had pointed out yesterday, and I think when I did the video, we were sort of like here. You have to take the end of the day for the fractal. And then notice we opened up today, beep, right? Could not get through that high, and we've backed off here. It was kind of funny. We were talking about the back off through the daily brief, and I had actually put on the charts. Let's see if I can find it now. I had put on the charts. Well, it kind of looked to me like, And you can even see I had drawn the levels for us to watch to see, because every once in a while in the marketplace you get these little battle levels where it actually makes it fairly easy to discern who's good driving the bus, who's in control. When I did this through the daily brief, the low there was 10,266. You can see now we've gone down to 10,190. I don't know where this day ends, but if we do end sort of like in this kind of fashion, then we've got these bull bear battle lines that maybe you've seen me post before. So if this happens to be the low, I don't think it will because of head and shoulders patterns that are working. But if this does happen to be the low, 10,190.38. I'll just make this now 10,190.38. Then in essence, you get a very simple message if we finish today, kind of like what we did yesterday. Beep, finish the day. If we tick either now, if we finish here and go beep and close, if we tick through this low, then that becomes a fractal top, right? So this is 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bars. This will be your fractal failure. If, however, we finish today and then we tick up through this high, then this empire here fires, right? This bullish fractal. So really interesting battle if, of course, the day finishes as it is. Who knows what this day is going to give us. And I was sort of talking about this potential setup, and we looked at the Bitcoin chart as I was sort of mapping all this out and trying to explain it. And Bitcoin price went and actually it was this chart, sorry. It went and it confirmed this lower time frame fractal. So as you can sort of see, that was the level I was watching earlier. Can we finish the day inside here and then fail tomorrow? But you can see, boom, they went and just busted it here, just like literally in the last 20 minutes. So now this actually creates like a head and shoulders, right? So hopefully you can see left shoulder, head, right shoulder, fail. Almost like what that gold is looking like now. So if that's the case, and I think it is, then our ultimate price objective should be basically a replication of the head and shoulders, or coming back down into this sort of trend line confluence area here. And, Brian talked to you about, US dollar trades about candle body highs and lows. I actually do like the idea if we're still stuck in a trading range, which I think we very much are. One way that I sort of judge whether we're stuck in a trading range is how the algo's doing. And the algo is just chop Vegas here. There's no real traction here on the algo signals. And that makes sense because this is basically a trending market state model. So having said that, and it's interesting how we have a bit of a disconnect over here on OKCoin. I think that's a function of that new forwards contracts that just listed. But you could argue a little 4-hour inside bar just failed on that OKCoin event. You notice that the other exchanges didn't have this big bar. So I think OKCoin's sort of off on its own right now. But here, we're just out. Nothing's really happening. It's just a big hurry up and do nothing, which in a way is a very typical sort of ranging market state sort of message. And then finally, and we sort of talked about this, somebody even posted on Twitter that I had posted this chart the other day, sort of saying the suspense is killing me, what's going on? And they're like, oh, this is going down. But they don't understand what this tool was. This is studying volume momentum. And if anything, you don't really want to see big dumps in volume momentum because it means that basically nothing's happened. What we really want to see is we want to see a breakout. Now, the breakout can come in the bearish side. It can also come in the bullish side. So, this breakout could be on a big red candle. It could be a breakout on a big green candle. But all it's doing is it's just measuring what is the push in volume. Is there any volume momentum right now? And I think this is an excellent anecdote of that ranging market state that we're in right now. And so we were talking about this, with regard to things like Litecoin. Yes, the price momentum indicators and volatility momentum indicators are perked up, but just nothing's going on with volume. And you can see volume is just not around. Same thing on Ethereum. technically these double bottoms are working, and price momentum is said there. All right, it's there. But if the buyers just don't show up, then this shit'll all start crapping out again. So you can see, if anything, if we do get price dumps here and lows hold and all that kind of talk, and the volume momentum studies do not break out, you see how we're breaking down here. But if the volume momentum studies themselves do not break out, then actually that's a good sign for the bulls. This, I think, is just an excellent commentary of that sort of malaise kind of market state. And really, on balance, that's sort of been my message for the audience today with regard to crypto, is that we're still very much in wait-and-see mode. We're not in these nutso, insano, blow-off, bull market kind of states that we're seeing in stocks right now. Crypto is still very much sort of wait-and-see. And I do have a couple crypto names on the books. Looks like I've gone pretty over time here, so we'll just finish it off. With a look at one of my little crypto proxies, this Riot blockchain, really good example, same sort of thing. The bottom is there. I am long. But, it's just sort of the market's in just sort of, show me. Wait and see. And I think this is a really, really good testament to, it's a trader's life. You don't know what the hell's going to happen. My setup came in. I got my bull divs. I got my location. I got my structure. I took the trade. But the market's just right now is just sort of like a wait and see kind of mode. Just big hurry up and do nothing. And really, until we actually get solid breakouts on volume, I'm still just sort of sitting on the fence with regard to crypto and Bitcoin. I think it's still just a big hurry up and wait. So, all right, there's my report for today. Hope you got some value out of it. I think we'll leave it at that. All the best, and bye for now.